Celebrities who made fun of God and had big troubles, that fighter tried to humiliate Jesus and paid a hefty price for it. In 2015, Conor McGregor was at the peak of his career, but it seems like it all got to his head and he ended up doing something crazy. In front of millions of people, he said he was better than Jesus and that not even God could defeat him in the ring. And when confronted about it, McGregor said he wished Jesus would come back so he could beat him up. As you can imagine, this outraged everyone, but he didn't stop there. He used the interview to claim he was a greater God than Jesus and therefore deserved respect. But this was a huge mistake. God heard everything he said, and it didn't take long for him to pay dearly for it. McGregor thought he was the ruler of the world because he had won 2 consecutive titles in the UFC. But just one fight later, his opponent did to him everything he said he would do to God. He got beaten up so badly he could barely stand and ended up being completely humiliated in the fight. In the end, McGregor paid a high price for trying to humiliate Jesus. But if you think he regretted it, you're very mistaken. Unfortunately, some people don't change, and the fighter continues to speak ill of God whenever he can. That singer did something so horrible that she was expelled from the church. Madonna's fame drove her completely crazy. Despite claiming to be Catholic, Madonna is the #1 enemy of the Pope, even going as far as to perform occult shows in front of millions of people. But the worst part was when she tried to humiliate Jesus. At the beginning of her career, she released the music video Like a Prayer, where she pretends to kiss Jesus while burning several crosses. And with each show, it only got worse, reaching the point where the singer herself intimately on the altar of a church after stating that all priests are gay. The singer's situation got so bad that the Pope called her for a talk, and that's when she showed her true colors. Even though the Pope acted humbly, she was totally rude and said,
"If he wants to see me, he should buy a ticket and come to my show like everyone else."
The Pope was so furious with this that he expelled her from the Catholic Church and called her shows the Devil Circus. Still, Madonna claims she doesn't regret anything and told Pope Francis that the church is very unfair to its faithful followers. But this guy mocked God and took the lives of thousands of people. To this day, the Titanic is considered one of the most incredible human creations, but what many people don't know is that it was built to humiliate Jesus. The creator of the ship aimed to build a machine so large that it would challenge God's sovereignty, but no one can put God to the test, and he ended up paying a high price for it. During the construction of the ship, over 246 people were seriously injured and 9 lost their lives. Still, when the ship was completed, the creator of the Titanic claimed,
"Not even God can sink the Titanic."
And as you already know, he was very wrong. Right on its maiden voyage, the ship collided with an iceberg over 400 feet long. The impact was so strong that it split the ship in half, and nearly 2,000 people lost their lives. It's no wonder the Bible says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." This guy chose to serve the and paid a high price for it. The AC/DC is one of the most famous rock bands in the world, but that fame didn't do any good for the lead singer, who went completely crazy. Bon Scott couldn't handle the success and ended up getting addicted to alcohol and illegal substances. But the breaking point was when he made a song for the devil. In 1979, AC/DC released the song Highway to Hell, which talked about taking a road to hell. But that was a big mistake, and he ended up paying a high price for it. Shortly after, Bon Scott overdosed and was found in his apartment.